Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is AshQuest, and this is the long-awaited, at least to me because I backed the crowdfund campaign, Fighting Fantasy Adventures, a game from Wallace Designs adapted from the books of Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone, game design by Martin Wallace. These books off to the side are just set dressing. They are not included with this release. Examples of the many different editions, many different volumes, many different adventures, none of which necessarily connected by mechanics. You can pick up and play any single fighting fantasy game book and have this self-contained adventure. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I imagine there are very, very few of you that don't know, if any, the Fighting Fantasy line is being completely republished. Again, the crowdfund campaign for the second set of 5 books just dropped, and there is already a 50-book deal in the works between Steve Jackson Games and Steve Jackson from the UK. Yes, 2 different Steve Jacksons. It's a very confusing affair. But having the 50-plus book line accessible once more means not having to spend ludicrous prices on secondhand but well-loved copies of the game books on eBay. That is a completely separate topic. We are talking today about the board game. Well, it's not really a board game at all. I thought this would be the de facto game in a box that I could have on my shelf version of Fighting Fantasy Adventures. Can I call it a board game if it just does have one tiny board for tactics? This is your gateway to the wondrous world of role-playing. Quite a bold claim. The game is for 1 to 4 players. A session should take 90 minutes, and it's for ages 14 plus. The front of the box claims that this is the ideal introduction to adventure gaming. Let us lift the lid and marvel at the wonder that is the under-lid artwork. There is this beautiful map of Alancia, which includes so many locations from several books. We've got Dogfish Island, Ghost Island, Chiang Mai, River Cog, Red River, Mire Water. The Siege of Stonebridge takes place here. The Forest of Doom here. The Warlock of Firetop Mountain here. Anvil, Chalice, the Southern Plains, Kragan Heights, Port Black Sand, Silverton. The Island of the Lizard King takes place here. Death Trap Dungeon far to the north. We even have art in the inner sides of the box, which is just unheard of. Nobody ever uses this space. The Dragon Reach, the Crystal Caves, Icefinger Mountains, Salomonas, Trawltooth Pass. I love that. I love that very much. The Desert of Skulls. Thank you for utilizing under the lid of the box. I look under the lid of the box of every single board game that I unbox here on the channel, and I am met constantly with disappointing blank. That's not an opportunity for you to fill in the blank. I'm just saying the boxes are always blank. Moving on. Fighting Fantasy Adventures comes with a rule book, the tactics board, and then 8 individual boxes inside. Each one of these is based on a particular volume of Fighting Fantasy. It starts with the seminal, The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, clarifying here that is indeed Volume 1. It moves on to Volume 2, Island of the Lizard King, Volume 3, Death Trap Dungeon, Volume 4, The Forest of Doom, and Volume 5, The Siege of Stonebridge. We have the Orb of Lucis, which is an original adventure that will be more or less the tutorial for this entire experience. And we have 2 boxes that say Fighting Fantasy Adventures that contain all that we need to enjoy all of the other adventures in this box. The map of Alancia is repeated on the bottom of the box, so we have 2, but it's still really, really cool that they printed on both sides. Didn't have to do that. We have our hero and ability cards in the first box, and in the second box, we have the components. We'll go ahead and spill all of these out, opening these tuck boxes and realizing that they're not filled to the brim. It made me a little bit disappointed. Like, is it possible that they could have fit everything into one box? Let's test this. It's not looking good, heroes. It's not looking good. It looks like they could have easily put everything into one box. I realize I'm getting into the nitpicking kind of early on here, but more than just reviewing the game and the gameplay, which I haven't played this yet, so I can't even do that. I'd like to get into the here's what you could do next time to save space or money or anything. But still, this gives us a way to categorically separate the components and the hero and ability cards, and I'm sure somebody tried this already and said, I don't like the effort that I have to go through to really pack those in. So within the hero cards box, we have 4 regular heroes, 4 epic heroes, 4 anti-heroes, 4 blank heroes, and ability cards for levels 1 through 4. in a game of fighting fantasy adventures, you can play with just one player. You can play this solo, but you need to have 4 heroes. So if you're playing with 2 people, one of them can have 2 heroes and the other one can have 2 heroes, or one can have 1 hero and the other can have 3 heroes. If you're playing with 3 players, one of those 3 players needs to have 2 heroes instead of 1. It doesn't matter just as long as you bring 4 heroes into your dungeon. Mechanically, it is required. It's interesting that we get a bag of tokens rather than a punch-out sheet. Looks like that was already done for us, but honestly, I can't imagine that that was cheaper to do. Wait a minute, these aren't cardboard. Or are these wooden? You know what? I actually really admire these. They're not just cardboard. I mean, they're hard tokens. The print on the tokens is really pretty. It's really easy to see. They're double-sided, so they have multiple uses. You've got a -1 on one side, -3 on the other. We've got our snack included. I want to take a look at these dice. They're just run-of-the-mill D6s, but they at least have a prettiness to them. You've got the Fighting Fantasy font engraved on each side, and then in place of your 6, you have the Fighting Fantasy sword logo. We have 2 blue dice and 2 red dice. We have all of our fighter cards in this sleeve. Time to gently slide them out. I don't want to break the sleeve. I have my reasons for that. Looks like these are pre-sorted for us. We've got Mage, we've got Scout, we've got Healer, and we've got Warrior. In case it was not clear, these are the 4 heroes that you're going to need to take with you. There are multiple versions of these 4 heroes. There are regular, epic, anti, and blank versions of all the heroes, and I think that that's really cool. There's one more thing in this, and it is this sort of special bonus autographed card. There are 4,000 of these. This is card 3026, but it is signed by Steve Jackson, Martin Wallace, and Ian Livingstone. It's pretty cool. You'll have to compare this to your card and let me know if you think that the cards were individually signed or if that's just a print. We have larger tokens in this Ziploc. Oh yeah, these are definitely not cardboard. They're awesome is what they are. These tokens obviously represent our 4 classes, and looks like we've got a Fighting Fantasy token. We'll put them off to the side. The last bag just has a bunch of black cubes for tracking. We would be finding the 4 hero cards that look like this. They just have their normal names of the heroes on each card: Warrior, Healer, Scout, and Mage. And if you wish, any regular hero can be replaced with an anti-hero or epic hero variant, and their symbols are marked out right here. These variants behave like the regular heroes in most ways, but have unique abilities. If you choose an anti-hero or epic hero character, check each ability card for a dagger symbol in the top right corner. These cards should be replaced if there are alternate cards matching your character. Bonus cards may also be included. Check for the symbol matching your character when leveling up. So first up, we're going to look at the warrior cards. We have the normal warrior card here, normal symbol in the corner. The epic hero variant is the warrior paladin, and the anti-hero variant is the warrior barbarian. And we have a blank card. Our ability cards have level designators in the bottom corner, and of course, if they apply to special versions of the hero, then we're going to have our symbols in the top right. So for the warrior, we have improved reactions, mighty blow, block, that's for the anti-hero. No, that's for the normal hero version, sorry. Berserker's Dance, Holy Shield, block again, improved reactions, Mighty Blow again, and very improved reactions. This is a level 4 card. After rolling your dice, you can add 4 to the total. This can be used in all situations. You cannot use this card to help another player. We have additional anatomy to these cards. We've got some symbols here at the bottom of the text on the scroll, or below the text on the scroll, but we're not far enough to know what that means just yet. We have Healer for the healer side, and then the Healer Cleric and Healer Druid, as well as the blank card. The healer has Courage, Healing Hands, Prayer Circle, Woodland Soup. Your animal friends bring you a selection of mushrooms you can use in a soup. All party members can have a serve, but must each roll 2 dice. If they roll a 2 or 3, they lose 2 stamina. All other results restore their full stamina. This card cannot be used in combat. Wow. Healing Hands, Rejuvenation, Staff, Block, Healing Hands again, Rejuvenation again, and Regeneration. Pick any hero to fully recover their stamina and luck. This would be completely OP if you were playing any of the Fighting Fantasy books. You'll have to let me know if that ability is in a Fighting Fantasy book. Next up, we've got the Mage. This is the normal Mage, and then we've got Necromage, Blank, and Mage Enchanter. For the Mage's abilities, we have Firebolt, Invisibility, Protection, Precognition, Spirits, Boon, Kinetic Shield, Life Drain, and Flash. Flash, all heroes gain +3 skill for the first round of combat. That doesn't seem like a very good level 4 spell. I guess if you flash the enemy, that's what happens. Finally, we have the Scout. We have our normal Scout. We have our blank card, our Scout Thief, and our Scout Hunter. The epic and anti-hero system is kind of interesting to me. Anyways, improved reactions, smoke bomb, improved reactions, dodge, unerring arrow, deadly dagger, improved reactions, unerring arrow, deadly dagger, and Scout's Luck is our level 4 card. You can use this card at any time to regain 2 luck. Alright, so if you've watched this channel for more than 10 minutes, it's time for me to go off on a little bit of a rant. It can be very harmful for reviewers, content creators, anybody really, just with word of mouth, harmful to a business of any size, but especially small businesses, to accuse said business of using AI art in their product. I stand here today to not accuse this creator of using AI art, but I stand here as a consumer, as a person who is fairly giving you his opinion and nothing more, that this art, various pieces of art across everything that I have unboxed so far, and I have unboxed a few of these smaller boxes ahead of time, looks like AI generated art. For some people, that's not a deal breaker. And when I say that a lot of pieces of art, including this Minotaur on the cover, look like AI art, I'm not saying that I think they were generated with AI art from any sort of specialist or inspector standpoint. I'm saying regardless of whether or not they were generated, the style looks very much like generated AI art. I am critiquing the art because I think because it looks like AI art, it looks ill-fitting. In some cases, it doesn't look like it makes sense, and with all due respect to the artists that pour their hearts and souls and tears into their work for countless hours to produce something for a project of passion, it even looks bad. I have no way of knowing if any of the art in the game was or was not AI generated, but I do know that the question was posed to the creators of the game, and they came back and said that none of the art assets were AI generated. Now, this is a great statement for the company to have, but a company need not know how an artist actually produces their stuff, and there are a lot of artists on the back of this book in the credits section. A lot of these folks, and I'm not pointing at any particular one, are freelancers. And unfortunately, there are bad actors in the art world that say they do not like AI, they despise AI, they are anti-AI, and they use generative AI to create and sell works. It is because of the art direction and the once you've seen it, you can't unsee it sort of perception that I unfortunately have ingrained into my brain looking at previous AI-generated artworks, that I don't think I'm going to be able to sit and enjoy this game. Therefore, it is not going to be my de facto Fighting Fantasy board game. That's okay, because Fighting Fantasy has licensed a few different creators the IP, and we've got a couple of other games that were successfully crowdfunded that are coming out as well to represent Fighting Fantasy in a sort of board game fashion. They don't play like this one, and this video is about this one, but I thought that it was relevant to point out because I went looking. I saw artwork in this, and I immediately thought that looks generated, and it looks generated very, very much. And I went looking to do some research, and it turns out I'm not the only one who has these suspicions. Yeah, but the official stance of the company is no artwork was AI generated for this product. So as long as you feel like the company would absolutely know beyond a shadow of a doubt, then you can rest assured. But man, I'm not saying these are AI generated, but I'm saying this art style is very unfortunate. All right, I've gone on enough about that. Let us pry open the rulebook and see what we're supposed to do next. Place the tactical board on the table, but away from the center. You'll use this to show what order your party is traveling in and what creatures you are fighting. The center of the table should be kept clear to allow for the placement of the dungeon, location, or battle cards. There are also various tokens, counters, black cubes, and dice. For the moment, just place these to one side. The cards will instruct you if and when to use them. You can't ask for a simpler opening. The adventures in this box form a campaign and must be played in this order. The Orb of Lucis, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain, blah, blah, blah. So we do have to play the Orb of Lucis. It is a tutorial, but also mandatory. Select the tuck box containing your next adventure and remove the 2 decks of cards. You'll need to find cards by their numbers, so do not shuffle them. This is your last warning. We are going to be spoiling the Orb of Lucis, which is adventure 0 in this box of 5+0 adventures. And due to the nature of this show, we will be looking at both sides of all of the cards. Not a proper gameplay, but yes, we do have numbers in the corners of all the cards. So if you shuffle these, you are damning yourself. Hard mode is you shuffle them and just play the game as normal and do your deck searching as normal. One of you needs to take control of these cards. We suggest the person who enjoys reading and speaking out aloud. The top card on each deck is there to hide the cards beneath them, so leave them where they are. You might want to quickly discuss with your fellow players to decide how you're going to play the game. Place dungeon, location, or battle card 1, then place the party position marker upon it. This marker indicates where your party is during the game. Begin the game by reading encounter card 1. All right. And this is the Orb of Lucis. That's not instructions. It's just the cover card. This is encounter card 1. It is an illustration of a Zelda-style top-down dungeon where we have our entrance door to the south, to the west, the clicking sound, to the north, the sulfur smell, and to the east, the musty smell. And I know my directions because they're printed on this actual compass in the ground. When we flip, wait, what? Did I start from the wrong side? It just says start. Like there's no, what's going on? Is this not encounter card 1? What's the deal? Playing the adventure, you now need to make 2 decisions. What encounter card? I'm freaking out, man. There was only 1 deck of cards in there. It said 2 decks. So there's supposed to be 2 decks of cards? Here we go. Yes. These are the encounter cards. This is 2 decks. They had 1 sleeve, 1 belt, 1 band around them. So I thought I had a moment of panic. I was like, did I seriously just get half of the decks I was supposed to get? All right, but this is the encounter deck. So we don't need to look at those at all. Those are the dungeon cards. These are the encounter cards. It says so right on the cover card. And we will now be reading encounter card 1. Brave adventurers, your quest is to retrieve the Orb of Lucis. This precious orb is kept in a chest that can only be opened when 3 special coins are positioned in the correct way. To succeed, you must find the coins and the chest. Beware. Along your journey, you may encounter nasty creatures and deadly traps. So you'll show the order of your party by placing your colored hero counters on the tactical board. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So we've got our tactical board off to the side here. And our heroes would be here. Right underneath, we've got a +1, +2, and +3. Not sure why yet. Doesn't matter. I guess I would take the 4 different tokens and place them down. I'll go ahead and put the warrior first, the thief second, or none of it matters. What is happening? Oh, that's the healer token. Okay, healer then mage. That's how I would do it, I guess. Okay, now what? You can change the order of characters before moving to the next room, but not after you enter a room, as who goes first may have an impact on what happens next. You then find the dungeon or location card that matches the number in the next room, red side up, and place it next to this card, creating a floor plan. You also find the encounter card with the same number, also red side up, and read out what is written on it. Some rooms will present you with a challenge you may solve through intelligence, improvisation, skills, and abilities. Other rooms will contain strange creatures which you will have to fight. The number in the shield icon shows their skill level, or how good they are at fighting. The number in the heart icon shows their stamina, how much damage they can take before falling over. The letter above the shield shows you which monster counter will represent this monster. If more than 1 letter is shown, multiple monsters are present. And these are the monster counters, and these are the letters to which they refer. Being that I just drew D and E and there's F, that means you could have at least 6 monsters on the board. And here's their tokens. So we'll just place those off to the side for right now. We are at the start. We've read the red side up encounter card. We need to look at the dungeon card, and we'll go ahead and place that down and make a decision. I guess we'll travel to the right, to the musty smell, and that's going to mean opening up dungeon card 21. Opening up, drawing and placing. All right, so this is 21, and it looks like we just have the 1 room, and the only door leading out of the room is the one through which we are entering it, and it says 1, so it's telling us to go right back to encounter card 1. I like that, actually, very much. What's on the other side? That's the black side up. It says item found, but for now, there's nothing. But we don't know how nothing it really is. Let's go ahead and flip over encounter card 21 and read it. You walk into a musty-smelling room full of broken furniture and ruined clothes. If you wish to search the room, flip this card. Okay, that's why we have card flips, and we'll do that. Item found. Now, there's no instruction. Wait, no, flip this card. Oh, God. Discovering a net, you decide it may be useful and take it with you. Choose a hero to take this card. If you decide to use this net for any reason, read encounter card 26. Okay, so I guess we flip this card, right? Yes, when you resolve a dungeon card, you flip it from the active red side to the completed black side. This is very important as it shows you which rooms you have cleared, and there may be information on the other side. All right. So I could definitely see me playing this system easily. The system seems very intuitive. I don't mind the mechanics whatsoever. We have a couple of notes on staff block, stamina, luck. Don't know if the luck mechanics work the same way as they do in the books. Retreating, splitting up, moving around the dungeon. You must stay as one group unless the adventure tells you otherwise. However, you must leave unconscious heroes behind. You can keep track of their location, however. Fighting has its own 2-page section, as I'm sure we all expected. Ganging up, using item cards, using ability cards, surprise monsters, information, additional iconography, completing an adventure, restarting after defeat, and ending the campaign. You will know if you have won the campaign. Wow, that's great. There are things about this that I think are really, really nice. The structure is stupidly intuitive. I mean that in the best way. Just reading what little I have. The structure of this is so simple. It's so neat and so clean. Every card is double-sided so that you can flip it to show that you have resolved it. You have 2 decks. You have the ability to keep one of these things a surprise, and then its effects are not revealed unless you choose to flip the card over. But once you do, then you have this visual that this thing is already done. And that's just really, really nice design. Really nice design. The tokens, which are usually my least favorite part of any board game, kind of seem like they're going to make the most sense here. The rule book doesn't have a whole lot of different phases and steps for its combat or its turns, and tokens with regards to steps of a turn is why I really can't stand tokens. It makes a game much more easier to get lost in terms of rules and phases and turns. Turn step is actually it's a phrase that I'm afraid of. Whatever Latin geek is watching this channel, if you can name my phobia, it's fear of tokens that are related to phases in turn order. So if you can answer what that word is, that phobia, that's what I have medically. It's a medical condition. When my mom was pregnant with me, she was scared by a token that marked a step in a phase of a turn, and my development was absolutely hindered. Okay, I don't want to get through too much more. I guess I do want to show you the Orb of Lucis cards, but I actually got myself a little bit painted into a corner because I don't really want to see them now because I would like to play through an adventure of this. But I guess what I'll do is I'll just go through them anyways, and I'll show you all of these dungeon cards. They're not all rooms. There are a lot of monsters in here as well. Oh man, look at this dungeon, sort of fog. To leave this place, one must remain behind. There's your sign that there's going to be a spot where your heroes are going to have to split up. I really can't get over the art direction here, and I just want to be super clear that I'm not accusing it of being anything. I'm just sharing with you that I really don't like the style, and that's legal, and that's fine. And I'm not spending the whole video whining or whinging about it. It's just I don't want to actually spoil the encounter cards. They all have instructions, so let's just not do that because there's no point. That's not, you get the idea. That's not going to help. It's not going to help your experience if I show you all that stuff. It's just going to hinder it. So let's not. Man, this was almost perfect. If they could have sourced and licensed the images from the books upon which these adventures are based, and then just had some original illustrations in black and white for the cards, that would have been so good. And then they could have shrank the size of this box because it does not need to be this big. It's not a huge box by any means. It's a pretty standard size. I mean, it's not even 10 by 10. It's 8 1/4 by 10 1/2. It's the size of a sheet of paper. But the stuff in it is too big. The box is too big, too much dead space. almost perfect, like snatching defeat from the jaws of victory if somebody thinks that this is a deal breaker because of the art style. Despite this, and because I truly, at the end of the day, could not tell you if the art, however questionable it may seem, is legitimately illustrated, and I don't want to lump all of the artists together. I'm not trying to give any single one of them a bad name. There are, in that group of freelancers and other companies, talented individuals who I said have put a lot of time and effort and a lot of skill that they have learned over years into their work, potentially getting mixed up with people who are only pretending to have that. But I want so badly to learn from the mechanics and see how this goes and how far the mechanics go. And I think I owe it to the creator to at least do that. So I do plan on playing this game. I would like to study the combat and the exploration mechanics. I think that the exploration mechanics are so smoothly presented. So rather than just repeat myself over and over again, I think I will leave this video off here because I don't want this to be a gameplay video. I just wanted to reveal. And I would like to reveal the backs of some of the dungeon cards. We do know that the rooms will transform into different forms. Why? So what does that say start if it starts off with the black card? It's interesting. Black side, black symbol on the card. If it's a monster and you turn it over, then, oh, that's cool. So you fight the monster when you encounter it, then the monster's dead, and now you're left with the room that's left over. Interesting. And you have a note here that says the battle was won. That's still smooth. That's so smooth. So every monster is a dungeon room when you flip them over, and it's got its own paths that lead out. And look at that clue. God, that's genius. There is such genius in here. Ugh, I got to commend this Martin Wallace. I'm going to have to keep an eye on more games by this creator, but I'm going to keep both eyes on the games, if you know what I mean. All right, adventurers, that's it for now. Thank you very much for your kind attention. You'll have to let me know what you thought of this game down in the comments below. If you've played it, if you are looking forward to receiving it, I don't want you to take any of my claims once more. I feel it's super important to say this. As accusations, they are merely opinions. I do not want to tarnish or damage any small company or creator, but I do want to provide my honest opinion and my thoughts as a consumer, as somebody who paid for this. You can make decisions on your own, whatever those decisions may be. You're not relying on me to tell you one way or another. I'm just showing you what's in the box, and I do want to give my compliments to the smooth dungeon crawl design. But other than that, brave heroes, thank you again, and I will see you in the next exciting adventure. So until then, I bid you a fantastic rest of your day and a farewell for now.